This is Things You Might Not Have Heard, and I am Jay Cleveland Payne, and I am ready to present to you yesterday's latest in information, politics, current events, and pop culture news. This is your go-to supplemental source for both mainstream and unconventional news stories you may have missed, with a little added context added to it. That's why it's added context. There you go. I'll get into the 8 stories that we have today, including from the teaser graphic. You see the Sesame Street Muppet puppets there. We'll talk about them and what they're getting as an upgrade, or a redo, if you will, for the next upcoming season. Plus, as I said, 7 other stories that you vetted as conversational. We'll go into the vetting process and how the headlines get to us in just a bit. Plus, we're going to run through some fun things for the day that you're going to want to get to. So stick around till the very end. More information about what we do at our website. This is a conversationproject.com, which gives you all the details and less of me yakking about it so we can get into the news. So let's get into the headlines for today. 8 stories for the day. Today happens to be Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Yes, it's Halloween day today. Let's get into the headlines for today. Starting off with headline number 1, first in the list. No particular order, but the first one in the list is Trump trial begins on whether Trump should be kept off 2024 ballot in Colorado. One state is dealing with the 14th Amendment in a very interesting way. Since Trump is essentially on trial, public opinion, and in various places on what he did to avoid no longer being president, you can put those words in any order you want to. The Colorado state has a trial going forward whether he should be taken off the ballot because he's already disqualified himself via the 14th Amendment. He has had sedition. He is trying a coup against the government, so he can't run. Colorado thinks it's possible, or at least opponents in Colorado think it's possible. The trial has begun. You can hear some of the opening arguments on why this is a thing happening, but a state court in Denver is hearing the argument of the lawsuit that will prevent him from being on the ballot in 2024. Of course, the Trump lawyers say this is unfair. This is, obviously election not enhancement, the other word, keeping some off there, keeping off the ballot. It's bad for him because he's a viable candidate, even though they say he's not. Let's move to headline number 2 and Sesame Street. Sesame Street is getting a being reimagined. All those different adjectives of the word reimagine for season 56. The long-running children's series will be getting a creative overhaul for its 56th season, coming out in 2025. So that's 2 years from now. A little time to do that. 2 longer, more narrative-driven segments paired with new animated series called Tales from 123. Less of the format that it had for the previous 55 seasons going forward. The animated series and the longer segments is going to do a thing to basically do more for the Sesame Workshop and how things work out for audiences, and also coincide with the way the deals and rights go for the audiences to read things and watch things and keep things going on. Sesame Street moved from being on a PBS first to a PBS second and owned by HBO Max for more money in production value, and that means they can do more things with it. Now they're taking that production value and upping up the value of production. Still going to be able to get to PBS, seasons behind, if you will, as it runs on a second run basis. But you will see more Sesame Street coming through with its new format, and hopefully you'll love it as this thing hopefully continues for quite some time. Sesame Street, a great thing for kids and adults, kids of all ages, if you will. Five Nights at Freddy's rides PG-13 rating, video game fame to Halloween box office crown. Now, this was kind of a back and forth. Five Nights at Freddy's earned $78 million domestic. It also was on Peacock free, so you could watch it, or for paid subscription, so you could watch it at home without actually going to pay money for it. But people wanted the experience, and there was a back and forth on whether it was, 1, any good, and 2, anybody went to go see it. Now, it didn't win the box office, but it made a big chunk of money for something that was simultaneous on the streaming service at the same time, and it used the PG-13 rating to bring in a bit of younger viewership, because that younger viewership is essentially the folks that like the video game and sort of pushed for this to be done into a real movie as it was. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how this thing plays out in the realm of Halloween type stuff, as Halloween is now officially here, fighting for this upcoming weekend for an actual more Halloweenish type story. But the killer animatronic robots apparently made a big haul this weekend, and folks who love the game and love the lore of it, including my kid, who won't admit it but does, got into it. Didn't watch the movie because she's still not into the movie stuff, but all the memes and stuff is what she likes. Memes on killer robots. Meanwhile, Robert De Niro faces off against ex-assistant in discrimination trial. The lawsuit against his former assistant Graham Chase Robinson is set to go to trial in New York in federal court. Robinson had previously filed her own lawsuit accusing De Niro of gender discrimination and retaliation. Case revolves around allegations that De Niro oversaw a toxic workplace. That may sound pretty familiar. Underpaid Robinson, also familiar, and assigned her domestic tasks despite her executive title. Essentially, you are my secretary, so people running my business, go pick up my dry cleaning. Those type of things. The trial will involve the examination of checks and internal company emails, as well as De Niro's claims regarding Robinson's personal use of company funds and frequent flyer miles. Essentially, De Niro paid her to do some work, and she, overstepped her bounds with money and the frequent flyer miles. And Robinson saying that, she was, demeaned and it was meant to do work that was below her pay grade. We'll see how this one plays out, literally in court. GM reaches tentative agreement with UAW ending 6-week strike. Now, it gets confusing, but GM was like the last holdout of the automakers. And so we had a story earlier in the day where 2 of the 4 finally made their deal. Ford being the first one, and then 2 more made their deals. And then GM was like the last domino standing. And later in the day, they made a deal. Now, there has to be voting for these actual agreements. So it'll be a few days before that actually takes place. But what's looking like what's going to happen is many of the strikers are going back to work as of today, or as of yesterday, actually, because the strike is essentially done. They're going to vote for it. The deals are all floating around. The first deal made by Ford pushed the other 3 to make a good deal like those deals, and they're all fairly similar, and it shall go fairly well. We'll go into details on how the deals work out once all 3 are done to have that taken forward. In the meantime, a Georgia woman wins another case, $3 million settlement against Dunkin' Donuts for a hot coffee spill. This may also seem familiar, but this is a different one. A 70-year-old Georgia woman was awarded $3 million in lawsuit settlement after suffering severe burns from Dunkin' Donuts coffee. The woman was burned after her coffee spilled. She had to learn to walk again, burned so bad. The woman was injured in a driving accident and has since incurred over $200,000 in medical bills. Franchise agreed to a $3 million settlement. Of course, McDonald's, the most famous coffee spill, turned into sort of a joke, which actually, even go deeper in detail, was a very, very serious problem where the coffee was, like 1,000 degrees beyond what it should have been. And the spill was so bad that, like this lady in this Dunkin' Donuts lawsuit, she was severely burned. She had to learn how to walk again. It was really, really bad. This one is settled. Hopefully, coffee will no longer be as hot carelessly. Cornell University police investigating online threats targeting Jewish students. This is a story that could be basically copy and paste across many universities and colleges across the nation, as many universities and colleges across the nation are looking into their police forces and security investigating online threats targeting Jewish students specifically. Why is this? Because of what's going on in Gaza, in Israel, in the Middle East. Cornell University is investigating a specific one where anti-Semitic threats are made against Jewish students, and while New York Governor Kathy Hochul and the Biden administration are taking steps to combat anti-Semitism across all college campuses. But as I said, this is proof of it. It's cut and paste across the nation. Students who are Jewish are scared to go to class, scared to be seen out in public because they're being attacked by people who are essentially standing up for Palestine by literally beating down Jewish students because people are stupid. It doesn't work that way. Oh, and by the way, your wait at your local pharmacy may get a bit longer as pharmacy staff from CVS and Walgreens stores in the U.S. are starting a 3-day workout. I'm sorry, misread that. Walkout. Workout would not get in the way. A walkout would. Employees at CVS and Walgreens have launched a 3-day walkout to protest working conditions, lack of staff, and inadequate pay. The walkout is part of a larger labor movement without union backing because there are no unions for the people that stand behind the desk and run the cash registers. CVS and Walgreens taking steps to help pharmacy teams focus on patient care, even though they're being blasted by just bad conditions. Retail is not a great place to be ever. And right now, in this day and age, not a great place to be in general. And the Walgreens and CVS's, and we know like Rite Aids, who just went into bankruptcy to protect themselves, are not having a great deal of time being the convenience stop, as just conditions for retail and conditions in cities are terrible. It's something we're dealing with. We're going to have to live with it for quite some time. And if you're a CVS or a Walgreens customer, expect a wait. in the apologies, errors, and omissions section. We're going to go quickly to Panera Bread, talking about the story we had earlier about the lady who won the settlement over the coffee being hot, burning her so much that she had to go to rehab and had to learn to walk again. We had the story a few days ago about the young lady who died because of heart condition because she did not realize the caffeine in the caffeinated lemonade at Panera Bread was like 10 cups of coffee's worth. Panera is now displaying warnings about its caffeinated lemonade in all stores after the lawsuit over the customer's death. You will see those warnings on its caffeinated lemonade. I believe it's called Charged Lemonade. I don't have the notes here for this one because it's just a quick hit on this one. But the Charged Lemonade is now being noted that it is pretty much heavy stuff. So keep the kids away from it, heart conditions, things like that. Seems like a little extraordinary silliness. Obviously, somebody died from drinking a glass of water, a glass of lemonade, so the silliness is worthy of the time. Let's talk about time that is yours, that's worthy of. And we need you to put some time in to help us make the news stories work every single day for the feeds and the shows. What we need for you is to go to our sites on Facebook and Twitter, or the Facebook and Twitter X sites, and our links there for our pages. On Facebook, we are This Is a Conversation Project, and on Twitter, X, we are th_conversation. So follow us there, and as you check your feeds for your Facebook stuff and your Twitter stuff, we know you're still there. Trust me, many people have exited. We know you're still there. Engage in the stories we post there. Just simply like, love, hate, share, read, do what you do to just show that you care, or literally hate it, whatever. Just show that you're engaging in it. The higher engagement score that a story gets, higher chance we get to talk about it today and the rest of the week. We'll give you 8 stories from the top 15 stories of the day. That's how we got the story today, plus a little extra mixed in there, and it works like that. Can we talk about this story tomorrow? I'm asking you. I'm really asking you. Halloween Arctic blast threatens dozens of records as temperatures tumble across the U.S. this week. It's not just Halloween. It's going to be a very, very cold week as the cold is finally caught up to us, U.S., with a very, very, very sort of weirdish, warmish summer. Actually, not so weird warm, but the global warming stuff. And the warm fall, warm start to fall, autumn being a fairly warm month where it basically started to cool off. Then it was like, nope, we're going to go back to 80 degrees for a couple of weeks. Let's do it. And then now Halloween's here, the time for kids to walk around trick-or-treating in their scampy clothes. Make sure that baby wears a coat tonight for trick-or-treating. I say this again. Make sure that baby wears a coat tonight for trick-or-treating. But when we talk about the Arctic blast of cold that's hitting all states but Florida this week, because Florida, you vote this up in the feeds and we'll have a chance to chat it up. Right now, let's talk about our sponsor spotlighting for the day, and that is the Chess Store. The Chess Store is your great home for great chess stuff. Excuse me. A little bit of tickle in the throat there. Great home for chess stuff. As the temperatures are starting to drop and you start to hang out, by the fire, whether it's electric or actual fire, a great thing to do while you're just enjoying that downtime is playing a great game of chess. And you can play a great game of chess on a beautiful chessboard. The chessboard doesn't really make the chess game any better, but it makes you feel better about what you're doing, what you're displaying. And what they have at the Chess Store are great chess sets that are literally pieces of art. They sit on your coffee table and they look beautiful, and they are great conversation pieces. And if your chess game is good, you want to take it on the road, you don't really care about what it looks like, you can still care about what it looks like with great chess sets that are great to take along for travel, plastic and travel sets that aren't just cheesy little pieces that you get from a CVS or Walgreens. They're actually beautifully detailed and worth pulling out and will bring up conversation as you see them on the travel set. Get your travel chess sets, get your metal and theme chess sets, get antique reproductions of great ones, luxurious chess sets via the Chess Store. Check it out at thisisaconversationproject.com/the Chess Store because it's an affiliate link. And when you buy from the Chess Store, we get a bit of a commission back. So we need you to check out our link to go to the Chess Store, but we also need you to play more chess. Chess, the ancient game, I guess. It's a classic game, an ancient game, a game that known for kings and the paupers alike, where they can play on the same literal battlefield that makes them equals, other than the white pieces go first. This is a game that gets you started, and you should really check out these beautiful chess sets provided by the Chess Store. Conversation Project lives online at thisisaconversationproject.com. Check out our home for all stuff, where you can get deeper explanations of what we do without having me say it over and over again, which makes these things much, much shorter, going more pithy, if you will. Big O saying I need to be more pithy. I think we found some happy medium going forward. Go to our website and find out how you can find us in either video form, either live or in replay, and then of course audio form for replays and the text messages that are in just the links in the newsletter. If you go to the feeds on Facebook and Twitter, you give us the words, you give us the stories to talk about, because we pull them from there. Go to your email machine and email us at the conversation inbox at gmail.com. You can tell me what to do and how to do better at it, just like that. If you go to our website and hit our partnerships page link, you can tell me what to do as well. Only you have a little bit of vested interest because you become an actual patron to the arts, if you will. So we obviously talk to those folks first. If you deem us worthy of the patronage, we thank you in advance for all that stuff. In the meantime, the free stuff is fine. Follow us on the feeds and tell us what stories to look at, and email us with the main details of what we can do to improve. Go back and forth and there. And one improvement you saw today, the teaser graphic, we went back to the classic, if you will, although we've been 3 or 4 iterations, because we got a bunch of literally quick responses saying we don't like that big old picture, and we changed it just like that. So we listen to what you say, so tell us what you think, and we'll do our best to make it work for the grand masses. If you're just kind of one crazy guy, then we'll mute you for a little bit. In the meantime, fun stuff. Done with all the news and all the business stuff. The fun stuff for this morning includes birthday wishes going out to my man Rob Van Winkle. Who is Rob Van Winkle? Oh, you know him. You know him. Word to your mother. Vanilla Ice, 56 years old on this day. Halloween birthday for Mr. Van Winkle, which is appropriate. Vanilla Ice is just what we know him by. In 1990, on this day, a Halloween prank by singer Billy Idol dumping 600 dead fish on his opening act, Faith No More. Remember their video for Epic, which had the fish flopping around? Yeah, because of that. This happened during a Seattle concert and put 4 pigs and a goat in their dressing rooms. Just for good measure. The group retaliated by parading naked on stage during his actual encore performance. He did a show, he did an encore, and the naked Faith No More-nesses showed up to have some fun. Let's have fun on this day of Halloween. Let's do more fun, more candy, less tricks, more treats for the day. Halloween, the legend, the lore, the actual thought behind Halloween, All Saints Eve, all Hallows Eve before All Saints Day, essentially a day to sort of get all the witches and all that stuff out of your system before you get into basically a movement towards the holy season, preparing for Christmas by getting rid of all the demons and dead stuff in the process. Also, a lot of other traditions dealing with the dead, but you can check out your own super Halloween tradition on your own. And if you're going to do trick-or-treating, we're going to just say it right now, full-size candy is just, bragging. No need, fun-size candy is fine. Little piece is fine. Smarties are awesome. Candy corn, I love candy corn. You can fight that all day long. But full-size pieces, full-size candy bars is just you being arrogant. I'm just saying. I'm also just saying we're done for this edition of the show. So this has been things you might have heard for your Tuesday, October 31st, 2023 edition, which means it's Halloween day. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy your Halloween, enjoy your spooky scaries and your sneaky whatever's going on today. Remember, you're going to see less famous people dressing up as other famous people because their strike is still going on. And of course, probably more sexy kittens, sexy nurses, sexy blah, blah, blahs, because that's all they sell at Walmart these days. Avoid that stuff. Make your own. I had the most awesome costume one year. My mom took a box, put squares on it. I was a Rubik's Cube. I won a prize, this huge dog. It was one of the great highlights, one of the best memories of my life. Thanks, Mom, for doing that. Thank you for everybody for checking us out in the live version, just watching us while we're doing this at 5:50 a.m. Central Time. And people who are going to watch this on replay, just let me know where you're watching it from. Put it in the comments so we can chat back at you. You can check this out in replay version for audio, video, and just the links at the website. This is conversationproject.com. And stay limber, stay hydrated, stay on task for all the grand things you're here to do, especially handing out candy to kids, greedy kids today. Just let it go. Give them the candy. They didn't earn it, but give it to them anyway. We're done. Halloween work for me means a little extra work tonight, so I'm skipping trick-or-treating, but I'll be here tomorrow morning to give you the news stories that you are asking for. You're literally asking for them from the Conversation Project and things you might have heard. Thank you so much. We're going to see you tomorrow.